There's a lot of different reasons someone can choose to come into the studio. There's no wrong reason to do boudoir, but no matter why you're there, it's an opportunity to take a day to say, I'm important, I'm worthy, and I want to be captured and documented in this way.
You're listening to the Free to Be Mindful podcast, where busy moms get practical tips and real talk conversations to find calm, joy, and a little more breathing room in everyday life. I'm Vanessa, licensed therapist, mom coach, and a mom to a tween and toddler. Each week, we get honest about motherhood and mindset, helping you live with more presence, less pressure, without losing your, here we go. Hello and welcome to episode 284 of the Free to Be Mindful podcast. I hope that you're feeling good, looking good, and doing better in this world than you were yesterday. So if you're a longtime listener of the podcast, you know I always start with feeling good and looking good. And not that we want to put all of this emphasis on the way that we look, but so often as women, and especially as moms, we are so quick to see our flaws before our beauty, right? We criticize our body, we dismiss our worth, and sometimes we just forget that we deserve to feel confident and we deserve to be celebrated in our own skin. But what happens when we flip that script and give ourselves permission to be seen, valued, and powerful? And that's what we're focusing on today. Every October, we recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And that question even feels more important when we pair it up with that topic. Because for so many survivors, reclaiming their sense of self and stepping back into their power can feel like the bravest step of all. And that is why I'm so excited for today's conversation with Liz Hansen, a Chicago based owner and photographer of Chicago Boudoir Photography, which is a boutique studio that empowers women to feel confident in their bodies, in their relationships, and in their lives. Liz opened up her commercial studio in 2018 and has since photographed more than 2,000 women. She has been featured on the TEDx stage, on National Public Radio, and with the Association of International Boudoir Photographers. Liz holds a BA in art and an MA in education. She's smart too. And she lives in Chicago with her husband and two teenage daughters. You're going to be listening in to the awesome conversation that Liz and I had that really talks about embracing beauty, embracing your strength, and hearing women's stories through her lens, quite literally and figuratively. And we explore how boudoir photography can become more than just photos, but it can even be an act of healing, an act of empowerment, and reclaiming control. Because at the center of it all, appreciating yourself is not vanity, it's not selfish or braggadocious, but really it can be survival, it's resilience, and it's a reminder that you are more than enough exactly as you are. Liz, thank you for joining us on the Free to Be Mindful podcast. I'm so glad you're with us today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, so you and I met a couple of months ago and we just heard your bio, but I'd love to hear it from you, a fun way to introduce yourself or anything else that you'd like to share.
Yeah, so I'm a boudoir photographer. If you've never heard the word boudoir before, it's just a fancy French word that means a woman's bedroom. And what I do as a boudoir photographer is I've created a safe space where women can come and create sexy, sensual photos of themselves in order to feel more confident and empowered in their own skin. I've been doing this full time for about 8 years. I've photographed more than 2,000 women, and I just love every minute of it.
How'd you get into being this type of photographer as opposed to, I don't know, taking your basic family photo shot?
Yeah, so I started out doing the basic family photos, weddings, events, things like that. And then about a decade ago, I signed up for a boudoir photo shoot for myself.
Okay.
And I was super nervous, but also like very curious. And I thought my husband would enjoy it. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that that experience was really like a transformative moment for me. I
Wow.
walked into that photo shoot really nervous, really feeling very inhibited. And I had such a good time. I walked out of that photo shoot wanting to show up in bigger and better ways in my life. And that photo shoot, it changed something in me. It turned a light on for me. And I wanted other women to have that same transformative experience. So a couple years later, I opened up my own studio and I've been doing that ever since.
That is amazing that you had the experience for yourself and were that inspired to just do something different. But tell us, before getting into like why somebody does it for themselves, where does a woman even come up with the idea like these are the photos that I want to encapsulate how I am right now in actual print?
Yeah, so boudoir can mean different things to different people. I have women who come into the studio for all kinds of different reasons. Some people
Okay.
are there for happy reasons, right? Like maybe they are getting married to the love of their life and they want to do a bridal boudoir session. Maybe they're pregnant with their first child and they want to memorialize their baby bump in some beautiful photos. Maybe they're turning 30 and it's just like a birthday celebration. But other women are there for more difficult reasons. Maybe someone's coming to the studio because they have gotten out of a domestic violence relationship and they want to kind of reclaim their freedom in their body, right? Maybe someone has a breast cancer diagnosis and they want to take pictures of their body before it changes. Maybe they have had a loss in their life and they're just feeling the need to celebrate being alive, right? So there's a lot of different reasons someone can choose to come into the studio. There's no wrong reason to do boudoir, but no matter why you're there, it's an opportunity to take a day to say, I'm important, I'm worthy, and I want to be captured and documented in this way.
Yeah, I am so glad that I asked that question and that you gave us all of those examples because, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is, do it for your partner. I had a baby bump session or two sessions. The second one was better than the first, but I didn't even consider that that was boudoir. But I love just having that memorialize of those beautiful pictures in the bump, but never did I think of like it would be to memorialize before you get a surgery or after DV or anything like that. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and it can be a gift for a partner, right? Like it can be a really fantastic anniversary gift or birthday gift or just because gift for a partner. But it can also be something really meaningful for the woman herself. It's an opportunity to challenge some norms, maybe step out of your comfort zone, maybe do something you've never done before, maybe say to the universe, like, I'm doing a thing and I'm worth it, and here I am, and I will not be silenced, right? Like, there are a lot of ways in which boudoir can just be a way that a woman can express herself.
I love the way that you set up your particular business because you have conversations beforehand so that the person's already comfortable with you. Explain to us a little more of what you do.
Yeah, I mean, my goal, of course, anyone who comes to my studio feels comfortable. And even if they haven't done something like this before, they end up having a great time. That requires a lot of trust, right?
Mm.
So, this is an intimate experience. You're going to be wearing lingerie or be partially nude or full nude during the pictures. And so, that requires that people trust me with their intimate moment, right? And so it starts with a phone call. Before you come into the studio, we have a phone consult. I want to make sure that I can achieve the vision that you're looking for your pictures. We can customize something just for you. Then when you come to the studio, I have a beauty team. It's going to do your hair and makeup to get you camera ready. We're going to do a wardrobe consult, pick out what you're going to wear. You know, every woman is different. Some women want to wear a fluffy pink robe and have their pictures
Mm.
be light and bright and airy and fun and flirty. Other women wanna wear something dark with studs or fishnets and have something dark, sensual, sexy, right? Or some people wanna do a little bit of a combo of both, right?
Okay.
And so we're gonna style the photo shoot based on you, your personality, and what you wanna feel during your photo shoot. Maybe you wanna wear my 6-foot tall ostrich feather Victoria's Secret angel wing, right?
Love it.
Yeah, maybe you wanna wear, like, a pearl necklace down your bare back and just take a silhouette of that necklace, right? Maybe you wanna wear, something white because it's bridal or something red because you feel powerful in red, like, whatever it is that you want to achieve, I wanna customize that photo shoot just for you.
Amazing, amazing. And let's say if somebody doesn't have a clue, but says, I just want to be up for the challenge, help me.
Hey, I'm here for it, yeah. I've got lots of ideas, I got lots of props, I got lots of things. You don't have to know what you want out of your boudoir photo
Okay.
shoot to have a great time. I have women all the time who come in and literally just say, I don't know, I signed up, but I'm here. Can you take it from here? And I absolutely can. What I will do in that circumstance is I'll take a wide variety of pictures. So I'll do
Mm.
some, I have half of my studio is painted white and has like light and bright sets and backdrops. And the other half is painted gray and black and it's dark and moody. And I will do half and half for you if you don't know, so that when you see the pictures, you can pick which you like better or both, right? Because we don't take the pictures, you don't know what you may or may not like, right? And even if you say to me, for example, I want all dark and moody pictures, I'm going to take a few pictures on the light side of the studio too, just to see. If you don't like them, we delete them. That's the great thing about digital photography. It's low risk. But sometimes when I take something that's outside of what you thought you wanted, we discover something that you didn't know, a part of you, a side of you that you didn't know you wanted to express. So that can be really fun too.
Yeah, it can surprise you. It almost makes me think of trying on wedding dresses when you're like, "No, I definitely don't want something," and then you try it on and you're like, "Oh, this actually looks kinda good."
Exactly, right, and that's part of my job is to kind of look at you, talk to you, get an idea about your story, what you want, and pull wedding dresses figured of from the back, even if that's not what you said you wanted, just to see, try it on, right? Boudoir is about exploration, it's about expression, it's about having fun, it's about trying new things.
I love that. I'll share with you, and then for those listeners who are also watching on YouTube, I'll have some of these pictures showing. A couple of years ago, I wanted a professional shoot just in my office here. And I knew exactly I wanted this look and I wanted to sit in this part of the desk or in that part of the couch. And I knew exactly what looks I wanted. And my photographer was awesome. And she checked off all the boxes and then gave me more, of course. And then the month after that, I was in fantastic shape. The month after that, I got unexpectedly pregnant after being 40, after being 41, and I couldn't believe it. And then my body obviously completely transformed. And every time I am to do something, I always am like, I'm so glad that I just put like self consciousness aside and I signed up to do that professional photo shoot because now I have all of these pictures and all these different outfits that I can use while I try to get my body back. But then in comparison, when I did my maternity shoot, I had no idea. I walked in with some stuff that I felt comfortable in, and I was like, take it away. And the photos came out so beautiful. And again, while my body was different, still so thankful that I got to have that experience and memorialize because this is not happening again.
Yeah, exactly. Photos are something they increase in value often as the years go on, right? Like looking back at pictures from a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? You'll be glad you did a boudoir photo shoot now and do it again in 5 years and in 10 years, right? But like
Mm.
people often say, "Oh, I'll wait. I'll do it later. I'll do it after I've lost some weight." No, do it now. You will never regret doing it earlier rather than later.
Absolutely. And so the demographic that listens to this podcast is the majority 35 to 44-year-olds. And so often, especially being in this age where we're approaching perimenopause, maybe, or our bodies have changed because of all different reasons. How do you combat the woman who says, I can't do it until blank, whatever that blank is? What can we tell women to reel them in, not only to perhaps have them sign up to have a boudoir shoot wherever it is that they live, but just to have them realize the importance of what these pictures can do for them.
So we are often, as women, given the message that the only women who are beautiful and desirable and valuable are young and thin, right? That's the water we swim in, right? Youth, thinness. We like worship youth and thinness, right? But I'm here to say you are worthy and beautiful and valuable wherever you are, however old you are. Of course, you need to be an adult. Boudoir is not for minors, but
No.
whatever size and shape you are. Your body allows you to live and experience life, and your body is wonderful and beautiful. Sexy is not a size. Sexy is a vibe, right? Sexy
Mm.
comes from this belief that you are desirable and confident within, and when that is starts from within, then it exudes from without, right? And so I would just say you deserve something like this. If you have this idea that you might want to do it, find a photographer whose website shows a variety of body types and ages of women,
Right.
someone who celebrates all kinds of different women, and call them up and just see if you feel comfortable with them. There are so many opportunities to be and feel beautiful and confident at every age.
I love, love, love that answer. And by the way, is that the topic that you speak about as a TEDx speaker?
Yes, sort of. My TEDx talk is titled Nudity Isn't Naughty. And the
Oh,
premise of my talk was basically to spend more time nude, to look at your nude body and to appreciate what your body does for you. And that as a society, we have kind of built this big taboo around bodies. And I don't think that we need to continue that, and there are ways to fight it. So, yeah, I'm a big proponent of enjoying your body, appreciating your body, celebrating your body at every age and every stage.
I love it. And here, of course, on the Free to Be Mindful podcast, we talk about mindful living, really being present and enjoying where you are in the right here, because this is the moment that you have, not the one that passed and not the one that's coming, because we really do never know. And that really can be integrated within mindful living because so often we're so quick to rush to go on to the next thing. And when we think of nudity, I don't know why my mind automatically goes to nighttime. So let's say it is that you're coming out of the shower, it's nighttime. And sometimes we just rush through those moments, or we bypass that mirror at whatever time it is, or we say some not nice things to ourselves. And as I tell even my kid clients, your brain is listening to you. And if you wouldn't say it to somebody else, or let's say if you're an adult, if you wouldn't say it to your own child, how is it that we say these things to ourselves and it's not really living mindfully and taking advantage of this moment because we don't know if we're going to have the next?
Yeah, we can be our own worst critics. We can women especially, we can be very cruel to ourselves. We can say things in
Yeah.
our mind and to about ourselves and about our bodies that we would never say to our child, to our friend, or even out loud, right? My biggest advice to you is instead of saying, I hate my body, try replacing just one letter from I hate my body to I have a body. Okay.
Mm.
Once you acknowledge, I have a body, that's a blessing. I'm grateful for it. What does my body allow me to do? Move away from what does my body look like to what does it allow me to do? That simple shift is going to take you from what I call body negativity to body neutrality. You don't have to get to body positivity. You don't have to get to, I love everything about my body and I'm celebrating every stretch mark. And, you don't have to get there, but getting into neutrality will take hating your body off the table. When we hate ourselves, when we hate our bodies, when we talk about ourselves poorly, we project that out into the world too, right? And so when we can't have some inner love, some inner peace for our own body, our own the vessel we live in, right? It's difficult for us to show up in the world in a loving, compassionate way towards others. So start here. Start instead of hating your body, you have a body, be grateful to be alive and notice how that can help you radiate out love and kindness out into the world.
I really love that tip. And I'll offer listeners another one is that if you're not feeling comfortable about a certain part without putting it down, compliment the parts that you do love that day, right? Instead of saying, like, oh, I'm having an awful hair day, then focus on another piece so that we're not just focusing on that negative. We're also, focusing on the pieces that we do appreciate, even if it's as simple as like, I don't know, my hands aren't so dry or my nail beds are looking good or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be
Exactly.
this major part. It can be even the smallest of things. And when we either wake up or go to bed with a mindset of gratitude, I always say the more good that we seek in the world, the more good we will see. And when we are thankful for, sometimes I call me and my daughter, we have these thunder thighs. And I'm like, these thunder thighs really, help us walk, help us move. They keep us up and they help things from not falling in the toilet sometimes. So they really come in handy, when we need them the most. So thanking different parts of our bodies can be something that we can maybe include that we do a couple of times a week. And that begins to shift our mindset of not talking negatively, but trying to find some positive things that we appreciate about ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with everything you said. And part of the point of a boudoir photo shoot is to celebrate maybe those parts of the body that you've previously overlooked. For example, I love taking pictures of women's backs, right? The back is, strong and beautiful. How many pictures of your back do you have? Like,
Right.
probably not very many. You don't spend much time looking at it. It's hard to see your own back, right? But imagine a picture of your back that looks like a work of art, right? It looks like a landscape, a canyon, right? So boudoir can be one way to help you appreciate some of those underappreciated parts of your body.
I love it. One of my favorite wedding pictures is of my back because I see the muscles there, and then the way, of course, that the dress helped the body, come through. But it's I only have that one that I can think of.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
once you can change that inner monologue, like you said, to gratitude and appreciation, away from hatred and self-deprecation. Like, it's gonna change your outlook on life. The more you seek, the more you'll see, right? I
Yeah.
love all of that.
Yeah, it makes a world of difference. So let's say, I mean, you're based in Chicago, but let's say for our listeners who are in other states, how would we even go about finding a photographer that we can check out to potentially have these types of shoots?
Yeah, so there are boudoir photographers all over the world. I even if there's not one in your town, I think it's a fun idea to make a weekend out of a boudoir photo shoot. Maybe travel to a big city near you or get on a train or a plane somewhere and spend the whole weekend as part of a self-care, self-love weekend. You can incorporate a boudoir photo shoot, maybe a massage, maybe eat good food. If you are even if you're not in the Chicago area, I'd like to offer some resources as well on my website. I have some free ebooks, some free printables. You can take a boudoir quiz to see what your style is. So I'd love to be in touch with you even if you're not in the Chicago area.
Absolutely. And your website is?
ChicagoBoudoir.com. Boudoir can be a tricky word to spell. It's BOUDOIR.com.
Yep, we see that flashing across the screen. And of course, we'll include all of the links in the show notes to make sure that everyone and anyone can find the resources that you provide, whether they are close by to the Chicago area, want to visit the Chicago area. I think that's a fantastic idea to make a weekend out of it or find somebody close to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And my recommendation when selecting a photographer, take a look at their website first, of course, and see if you see a variety of body types and images, and then get on the phone and see if you vibe with them. You'll know quickly if this is the right photographer for you. Each photographer has their own approach, their own privacy policy, their own wardrobe preferences. So I always recommend, human to human, have a chat with them. Boudoir is an intimate experience. Might not just be something you want to fill out a form on the internet and then show up in their basement, right? You want to make sure you're going somewhere where you feel really comfortable, you've had a chat with a human, those sorts of things, so that you can fully engage with the experience. You can feel fully comfortable going into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure you do your research up front so that going in, you can be your most powerful self.
Those are great tips. And I think one of these days I'm going to have to sign up for one now, not pregnant. So I thank you for your inspiration. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Well, I appreciate the work that you do, Vanessa. I feel like you and I, we have similar messages and missions. We just have different tools to help people achieve that. So I hope people can use your tools, other tools out there to really live their best lives and live their most like in the present moment, find that daily joy. And so thank you so much for having me on for this conversation.
My pleasure. And before you go, Liz, if you could be remembered for any one thing, what would that be?
Hmm. I mean, I hope I'm remembered as being a kind person, as someone who reached out to those who had less, less privilege, less opportunities. I do try really hard in various ways to give back to my community. In October, we're doing a domestic violence awareness promotion through the studio, and we're volunteering and giving money and stuff. So that's what I hope to be remembered for.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for sharing your tips, strategies, and your skill with us today. And I hope it inspires our listeners.
Well, thank you so much, Vanessa. This was great.
Thank you, Liz, once again for sharing your time with us, your talents, and really hopefully inspiring us to love ourselves, not the way we once were 10 or 20 years ago, not the way that we want to be once we change, fill in the blank, but the way that we are in the right here and right now. So, my friends, I want you to think about that one part of your body, perhaps, that doesn't always come to mind first, or that you don't always have something kind or something thankful to express towards it. I want to challenge you right now and think about that one part that perhaps you wish were different. Let's think of a way that we can say thank you for whatever it is. If you happen to have flat feet, say thank you to your feet for taking you around. If you happen to have big hands, thank you to your hands for allowing you to grab loads of laundry at a time. If you happen to be what you consider too tall or too short, and thanking your heights for either being close to the ground where you can access those things faster, or closer to the higher cabinets so that you can access those things faster. It is my hope that whenever you're not feeling so great about yourself, that you can always tune in to this conversation or others like it. And please do take a moment to share this conversation with a friend who must be reminded of the beauty that they bring to this world. And remember, in a world where you are free to be anything, you are always free to be mindful. Catch you next time.